What if the woman you trust deeply isn't who she appears to be? What if her affection, her loyalty, even her respect is merely an act when you're near? Many men mistake words for truth and attention for devotion. The price is steep: wasted years, shattered trust, and time you can't reclaim. The hard truth is that character isn't shown through sweet words or romantic gestures. It's revealed when no one's looking, when she no longer needs you. And here's the key: 2 silent tests cut through the facade. 2 subtle signals expose her true self beneath the surface. Learn these, and you'll never confuse convenience with commitment again. Let's dive into those 2 tests before you risk your heart on the wrong woman. As a relationship coach and psychologist, I've guided countless men who poured years into women who seemed flawless on the outside. But the truth surfaced when they least expected it. Don't let that be your story. Like, subscribe, and share your experiences in the comments. Have you ever trusted someone only to learn it was all an act? Because what I'm about to share will help you see through the performance and spot the true markers of character. Men aren't ruined by obvious betrayal. They're worn down by comfort. You've been conditioned to measure love by simple metrics: affectionate gestures, sweet words, or how effortless things feel when life is smooth. That's why even sharp men miss the truth. You're assessing the weather, not the climate. You're judging performance in perfect conditions, assuming it reflects character. It doesn't. Here's the psychological trap. Anyone can shine in comfort. Attention is easy when there's no tension. Affection flows freely when there's no cost. Even accountability seems noble when nothing's at stake. These signals lure you because they align with what you want to believe. She's warm, we connect, we're solid. But warmth and connection are fleeting states, not lasting standards. States deceive. Impression management turns many adults into part-time performers. We all curate, we all polish. She might not even mean harm, she's human. When an audience is present, we tighten our behavior. When the audience leaves, our true defaults emerge. That's why the real test isn't what she does in beautiful moments. It's what she consistently does in neutral ones. Comfort conceals, but silence unveils. If you keep judging her by cuddles, compliments, or curated weekends, you'll overvalue chemistry and undervalue character. Chemistry shows how good the moment feels. Character shows how secure the future is. Men who get blindsided mistake relief for reliability. Relief feels like, finally, someone who understands me. Reliability sounds dull. Patterns, consistency, principles. But it's what holds you steady when life shifts. So, what should you focus on? Not trap questions, not dramatic tests, not debates. Look at her behavior in moments with no spotlight, no likes, no prize, no eyes watching. When there's nothing to gain and no one to impress, people revert to their true selves. That's why I'll share 2 silent tests soon. 2 moments where her real character shines through without a selfie, a speech, or a performance. But first, drop 2 habits that sabotage you. 1. Stop equating suspicion with discernment. Suspicion is fear hunting for proof. Discernment is wisdom gathering data. You're not a detective, you're a witness. 2. Stop debating words and start auditing patterns. Words are promises, patterns are evidence. If her record contradicts her promises, trust the record. Here's a reframe to save you years. Character isn't a vow, it's a pattern under 2 conditions: no audience and no reward. If she stays respectful when the spotlight's off and aligned when you're no longer a resource, you're not guessing, you're seeing. I can hear the pushback already. Isn't this harsh? Isn't love about trust? Yes, trust earned through consistent evidence. I'm not asking you to police her. I'm asking you to protect yourself. You've paid for too many illusions with your peace. You don't need to play games to test a good woman. You just need to notice what's true when no one's applauding and nothing's owed. The plan is straightforward. We'll focus on 2 quiet checkpoints and let reality speak. No traps, no drama, just clear perspective. If she's genuine, these moments will confirm it and deepen your respect. If she's not, they'll reveal the mismatch early, before you invest parts of your life you can't recover. Let's move to practice. The first silent test is where most men overlook, how she handles freedom when no one's watching. That's where loyalty stops being a costume and either holds as a principle or fades. When men hear freedom, many think it's a gift. But in relationships, freedom is the stage where masks drop. Here's the tough truth. Some women mistake freedom for permission. They treat unmonitored moments like an open door for attention. The issue isn't her having space, it's what she does with it. Loyalty isn't a caption on a post or a necklace worn at dinner. It's either woven into her character or tacked onto her image. The difference shows when no one's watching. In public, commitment is easy. Smiling, affectionate, maybe even boasting about you to friends. That's performance. But when the door closes, does she uphold the same standard? Or does she open a window just wide enough for validation from another man to slip through? Let me share a story because real moments hit harder than abstract ideas. James, 43, divorced, steps back into dating after years alone. Through friends he meets a woman who seems perfect on paper, charming, vocal about valuing him, affectionate. In public she glows by his side, holding his arm, laughing at his jokes, making him feel like a world center. But James is sharp. He notices shifts when she's out with friends or traveling for work. Her phone gets hidden quicker. Conversations cut off if he enters the room. Maybe harmless. But one night, a notification flashes. A brief message from another man, not explicit, just enough to raise questions about why it was concealed. When he casually asks about her weekend, she sidesteps, shifts topics, paints a flawless picture. That's when James sees it. Her loyalty shines in the spotlight, but dims in the dark. Around him, she's polished. Away from him, cracks appear. She's not outright betraying him, but she's entertaining small openings she wouldn't want him to see. The point? True loyalty doesn't hinge on whether you'll find out. It hinges on whether she sees the bond as sacred, even when bending the rules would be easy. James's story isn't unique. Most men miss the gap between public and private loyalty because they're caught up in the show. They accept the costume at face value, never asking if there's a principle beneath it. Here's the raw test. Does she act the same when the world isn't watching? If her loyalty only shines when it boosts her image, it's not loyalty, it's branding. This doesn't mean you spy, stalk, or grill her with suspicion. That's insecurity, not wisdom. It means noticing her baseline. How does she handle freedom? Does she see commitment as a cage to slip out of when unsupervised, or a principle she honors regardless of audience? One answer brings stability, the other chaos delayed. Freedom doesn't create betrayal, it exposes it. If betrayal is in her, freedom is where it surfaces. If integrity is in her, freedom proves it. It's that simple. Here's the positive side. A woman worth building with doesn't see commitment as a chain. She sees it as alignment with her values. Whether you're in the room or 1,000 miles away, her actions match her words. You don't need to second guess or chase reassurance. Her consistency is the reassurance. James walked away, not in anger, but with clarity, saving himself years of confusion. You owe yourself that same standard. Observe her freedom, not with paranoia, but with open eyes. If she guards what's sacred when no one's watching, you've found something rare. If not, you've got a warning. Let's dig deeper into this first test, because spotting freedom isn't just about catching missteps. It's about distinguishing an outfit from a code. I call it loyalty on the outside versus loyalty on the inside. If you don't learn the difference, you'll mistake performance for principle. Loyalty as an outfit is presentation. Worn when it's convenient, when friends are watching, when you're near. She shows the right signals, affectionate words, loyal gestures, maybe public declarations. It looks good, feels good, but it's conditional. When the audience leaves, the outfit comes off. Her behavior shifts because the loyalty wasn't about you. It was about her image. Loyalty as a code is different. It's internal, not performative. She doesn't wear loyalty. She lives it. She doesn't need applause to stay consistent. Her integrity isn't swayed by circumstances. It's rooted in values. That's what makes her rare. Most people, men and women, adjust to the context, not a code. They adapt their behavior to the room instead of holding the room to their standard. An outfit fades when the crowd leaves. A code endures, even in the dark. That's why it matters. A man who trusts the outfit will always be blindsided later. A man who waits for the code will be secure. Psychology calls this impression management, the tendency to present our best selves when eyes are on us. It's not evil, it's human. But the issue comes when impression management overshadows authenticity. If her loyalty is an act to impress, it fades in private. If it's rooted in values, it holds whether she's praised or unseen. She treats the bond as sacred because she is sacred, not because someone's scoring her. So, how do you test this without slipping into paranoia? You don't interrogate or stalk. You observe consistency. Does her behavior shift depending on who's watching? Does her tone change in front of friends versus when you're alone? Are her boundaries steady whether you're present or not? Over time, consistency reveals what words can't. A woman with a code doesn't fear being caught. She's not performing, she's aligned. When you find that alignment, you stop over-analyzing texts, scrolling for clues, or seeking reassurance. Her life reassures you. That's the peace men rarely discuss, but deeply crave. Don't settle for the outfit. Outfits fade, can be borrowed, styled to impress. A code is chosen, permanent, proven by repetition, not applause. Here's the line to remember. Integrity is what she does when the door is closed. If she's solid there, she's solid anywhere. If not, no amount of public loyalty will protect you. The second silent test is one most men miss entirely. It appears not when you're her rock, her provider, her emotional anchor, but when she realizes she doesn't need you anymore. That's when the mask either stays on because it's who she is, or falls off because the role is done. Here's why this matters. Some women's kindness is tied to benefit. Their patience, affection, even respect is fueled by what they gain. As long as you're supporting her, filling gaps, helping her, she's warm. But once she's stable, financially, emotionally, socially, the dynamic shifts. You're no longer essential. How she handles that shift reveals everything. Let me share a story. Michael, 51, single for years, starts dating a woman who seems deeply grateful. She leans on him emotionally, calls after work to vent, seeks his reassurance. She also benefits from his stability. He covers dinners, guides her through tough choices, becomes her steady presence. Michael feels valued, needed, which feels like purpose at his age. But as months pass, she lands a better job, reconnects with friends, builds financial security. With her independence growing, Michael notices changes. Her tone cools. She cancels plans more often. Conversations feel rushed when he expresses needs or boundaries. She sighs, seems irritated, inconvenienced. The man who felt like her anchor now feels like background noise. Michael doesn't lash out. He observes. He realizes her respect was tied to her need. When she needed him, she was kind. When she didn't, she was careless. That hit harder than any breakup, showing him the truth. Her affection was conditional, not love, but convenience. This is where men struggle, clinging to hope the warmth returns, rationalizing. Maybe she's stressed. Maybe I'm overthinking. But denial doesn't change patterns. Michael learned painfully but clearly. How a woman treats you when she no longer needs you is the clearest mirror of her soul. It strips away incentives, reveals priorities, and shows if she valued you or just your role. Don't misread this test as gloom. Some women pass it beautifully. They don't turn cold when they outgrow dependence. They stay consistent, respecting you, acknowledging what you've built together, treating your presence as a choice, not a burden. That's grace. That's character. When you find a woman who loves from values, not necessity, you've found something rare. Here's the warning and wisdom. Watch the transition. Notice how she acts when dependency fades. If she discards kindness once your resources aren't needed, you've seen her truest self. If she maintains respect, even in independence, you've seen something exceptional. Don't confuse temporary gratitude with lasting character. Gratitude fades. Character endures. Ask yourself, is she valuing your essence or your utility? The answer lies in the silence after her needs are met. Life will test this naturally. Just be wise enough to notice. Here's the line to hold on to. How she treats you when you're no longer necessary is the sharpest mirror of her soul. Look into it, because that reflection tells you more about your future than any romantic gesture or sweet word ever will. Let's bring it all together. After observing how she handles freedom and how she treats you when she no longer needs you, one final clarity emerges. The difference between love and convenience. This is where men get burned, not because they missed the signs, but because they misread them. Love doesn't shift when benefits do. If she respects you whether you're paying the bill or not. If she honors you whether you're her safety net or her partner. Love endures when incentives fade. It doesn't weaken when perks vanish. That's what makes it love.